Hi there everyone, this is Kate, and in this post I'm going to be talking to you about a book launch that is a physical book launch and a digital book launch, so an online book launch, and just sort of explaining those options and the pros and cons. So in this day and age of technology, the online book launch has emerged. It has become a thing for authors and their new books. So it is certainly a way to reach a broader audience. However, both online and physical book launches do have their pros and cons, their advantages and their disadvantages. You just need to weigh up the facts of both options and decide which one is right for you. I mean, you can always do both as well. So with a physical book launch, this is the kind of book launch that is pretty self-explanatory. Everybody sort of knows what that is. It's held at a bookstore or at a venue. People come and attend in person, and you've got books there for sale that you can sign, and people buy those books, and usually you have something to eat, something to drink. It's quite a nice way to celebrate the launch of your book. However, physical book launches, especially if you are independently publishing, can be costly. So you have to take into consideration venue hire fees, catering, and of course printing copies of your book, which can go up into the hundreds of dollars just in itself. A book launch at a local independent bookstore, after all of the above expenses, so like the catering, ordering your books, the venue hire fee, that can be upwards of $1,000, even at a bookstore. That's going to be stocking your books. But there are ways, if you are going to do a physical book launch, there are ways around those hefty expenses. You can always approach a cafe or a bar and say, hey, listen, I'm wanting to get a couple of people together. I just want to have my books on sale. Are you happy for me to just set this up over in the corner on a table? And I'll be bringing, 20, 30, however many people into your venue who will be spending money on food and drinks. They may be happy for you to do that simply, and then you're avoiding the costs of venue hire, catering, that will just be already something that you don't have to consider. So there are ways around it if you just think outside of the box, if you're wanting to do a physical book launch. However, online, obviously those expenses are voided because you don't have to hire a venue, you don't need to cater, you don't even need to have a book run, of a print run for your books. So it's pretty self-explanatory really why that is such a cost-effective method. However, you are sacrificing the meeting with your readers and having that opportunity for yourself to go and sort of celebrate and sign books and just sort of having that nice author experience. However, it is still a fantastic experience to jump online and be popping your posts up and seeing people join you, liking and sharing your posts online. So it's still a unique experience in itself. So, and also you're not restricted by time. I have run book launches over the period of a whole weekend. I've run free promotions for my new book. I've scheduled posts to be published across from Friday to Sunday, so people all over the world can just check in whenever they're ready, and whenever they feel like it, they can check in and see what's been happening on my Facebook page, on my blog, where I've been posting up these different launch activities. So it is another option as well, and once again, there's nothing stopping you from doing both. So there are a couple of different options. The online book launch does seem to sort of still be a bit of a strange foreign concept to a lot of people. I remember when I did my first book launch, online book launch, and people were sort of like, well, I don't know what I'm meant to do. Am I meant to show up somewhere? Or they really sort of were struggling with that concept. But if you could just explain, what online book launch is, and just remind people that, they can check into your social media whenever they want and just see what it is that you've been up to, people sort of start to understand what's happening. So it's definitely new frontiers and different ideas, but if you're low on finances, then it can also be a great option as well. So I hope that this video has been helpful with you to decide what kind of book launch that you want to have. Do make sure that you follow my blog to make sure that you never miss out on any of these tips and information that I post, so that you can get notified each time that I do that. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to having you along for the next post.